masala dosa is like so famous all over the country.
So tasty.
Okay, yeah. Talking about masala dosa, does that win over the ghee dosa or no? So that's the rapid fire part of this. Now let's get deep into it. I know we have already talked about living in India for 2 years, and you came from Colombia, which is literally on the other side of the planet, where everything is different. Your staple food is different. The flavors are different. The spices you use are different. So how was it when you first had Indian food? And maybe the first week you're just trying a lot of new things, so it could be interesting and the adrenaline rush could make you feel happy trying new dishes. But in the second week, in the third week, after a month, when you know that you have to have these foods every single day, how did that affect you? How was it different for you?
I think you described it exactly as it was. I came to India with a very open mind and heart about the food because I am like that naturally. I like to try new food from different countries. If I had the chance to visit a new different restaurant every week of different countries, I would be more than happy to do it and to try everything they have on the menu. So I was definitely open to try everything. As we were living with your parents, we had Indian food every day, right? The first thing I ate was dosa with sambar. And it tasted really good. Like, it was the first time I was trying something like that. It was very hard to eat with the hand initially. It was very, very challenging.
Yeah.
I know many people who are very open-minded about it. I was convincing myself, like, yes, I can do it. I can do it. It's not like in Colombia we don't eat with the hand. We do eat certain things with the hand. But I'm very picky because I have long nails. My entire life I've had long nails and I love having long nails. And then when you have to eat with the hand, that's not a good option. So it was very hard because it's so liquid.
It is.
I was like, how are you going to lick the plate?
It's so fun. I think we should add a video where, like, the traditional South Indian banyan leaf lunch or food, and then they have all the stews like sambas or rasam or curd, and then they just like take it and it's a skill. Even I cannot do that.
It's a skill. With my nails, I remember many times I broke the banana leaf
Yeah.
because of the nails. I was like, I'm thankful that nobody in your family really cared about how I ate. So I was like, you know what? I cannot eat rice with my hand. Dosas and chapatis and the rest, perfectly fine. But for rice specifically, give me a spoon. And I would just take the spoon, and while we were at home, I would just eat. Not even the spoon, I eat with a fork.
Oh yeah, that's something very different. But here in Colombia, they have rice with fork.
Yeah, and I've heard these reels where they say how sinful it is to eat biryani with a fork. No, with a spoon. And I'm like, I'm a psychopath because I ate it with a fork.
Oh yes. And I still remember when your parents came to India, especially eating dosas or chapatis, they were just using both hands and trying to tear it off. Oh, wow. And if it's parotas or paratas, and it gets...
It's very hard.
Like when you eat it, when it's warm, you can easily tear it off. But after a while, it gets a bit hard, right? And then it just becomes incredibly hard to take it with one hand. But at the end of all of it, you actually mastered eating dosas or chapatis or paratas with your hand, and just one hand, not two hands. So that's incredible. Yeah.
And also drinking water. What?
Drinking water?
Yeah.
What happened?
Drink water.
Yes.
Drink water.
Yes. So we drink water not directly from like sipping the bottle, but there's a gap between the bottle and our mouth, right? I mean, it's natural for us. It makes sense because when you put your mouth, especially when you're eating, all the food particles go in. And when you have a transparent bottle, you see all the food particles
We call them
floating.
fishes.
Oh Lord, no.
But we don't share food, right?
You don't share your bottles.
like
Yeah.
my bottle is my bottle.
Uh-huh.
Why did you drink from my bottle? Exactly?
Because I'm not putting my mouth on it.
But now I have mastered it.
Yes. Oh goodness. Well, it always sucks when you're recording it. But yeah, I mean, I remember your parents when they saw what we were doing. It was so hard.
I actually mastered it. What happened to that?
It's always like that. Like when there's pressure and you're doing it in front of people, in front of a camera, it's going to. Yeah. No, we're not cutting anything. This part is incredible. Yeah, but yeah, you can show them again now that you can actually do it.
Oh.
Take deep breaths. Yeah. Incredible. Magic.
I
for
have
Colombians.
mastered it for real. Oh, Jesus Christ, so embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't think your parents wanted to do that after the first couple of days because they were just spilling water all over them. So yeah, we just gave them like tumblers or glasses so they could just sip it. So yeah, that's a very interesting point.
You know, now that you mentioned tumblers, all the vajillas, utensils in his house were stainless steel. That was very different because everything here is ceramic. It was very different. First of all, it doesn't break. That's so useful. Props to you. It doesn't break. It's very healthy. I mean, ceramic is also healthy, but
it can break.
It can break very easily. And I love that.
Yeah, that's a very...
But it was shocking in the beginning.
Absolutely, because I've been here now like a few months, gone to so many people's houses. I've never seen stainless steel things. So
I mean,
it's very rare.
like pots and that, of course, but
Utensils.
to eat, like the plate. Do you remember, how do you call this one that has
3 holes.
3 holes? For us, that's the food you get in jail.
Oh Lord, no.
You see, I'm going to get
But no, it's
blacklisted after this
it'll be
video.
interesting for the people to know the differences because for us, when you have sambas, when you have coconut chutney, tomato chutney, all these different things, or when you have sambar rice with 2 different vegetables and then you have the pickle on top of it, so you need all these separations in the plate, so it makes a lot of sense. So here it's not like that for you. It's let's get into it. Colombian food, right? For you it's mostly soups. So you have big soup bowls, whereas we don't have any bowls for
It
soups
was so
at home.
hard.
Yeah, that's another part that was very hard for you because in Colombia, soups are the main dishes for lunch. So you have a big soup bowl and everything is in there, the meat, the protein, like the carbohydrates and all of that. But
And then
for us,
some sides.
yes, you have sides.
Plantains, a little bit of rice. I mean, I know Colombians will say, "Hey, excuse me, we eat so much rice." No, not compared to Indians. We don't eat any rice compared to Indians. Compared to South Indians, compared to Tanjavur man.
The rice bowl of the state, yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Like the amount of rice I saw, it was unbelievable for my brain. And I love rice. So it was a lot of rice.
Yeah, like in North India, you can see rotis, chapatis, because wheat is the staple. In South India, rice is the staple. But here in Colombia, rice is just a small part. Their staple is mostly corn. Potatoes, and a lot of meat. Absolutely, a lot of meat. And yeah, that was very difficult for you because we never had soups at home. Like even when you go to restaurants, the soups are just like appetizers, like tiny bowls, not really
And you break them
prepared well.
1 by 2.
Yeah, you can also break it 1 by 2, but still it's not a main dish anywhere unless you go to a Vietnamese restaurant and get pho, but that's not common. So that was very hard for you to go from soups to dry food. Not completely dry.
Closest food was rasam.
Rasam.
Rasam was the closest for me
Yeah.
to soups. I loved rasam so much.
That's very rare for a foreigner to say that because rasam is super spicy for foreigners, especially.
I handled spices really well. It's worth mentioning that I handled spices way better than you.
Spicy food. I think the main difference is when it's chilies, you're better. When it's black pepper, I'm better.
You're right.
That's a big difference.
You are so right. I don't like the black pepper rice that burned so much.
Yeah, because black pepper, that's the spice trade in India. All the ports from Kerala was just sending spices like black pepper all over the world. And whereas the Americas, they're known for chilies. We think that we eat a lot of chilies. We do, but it's actually not from India or anywhere in Asia. It is from the Americas. That's why Mexican food is extremely spicy, full of chilies.
And there are many types of chilies.
So many.
However, Colombian food does not use chili at all.
Yep. So many people confuse that Mexican food is Latin American food. That's not true. Probably Mexico is the only country that has super spicy food.
Peru,
maybe a few more.
Parts of close to the Amazon, they also use chilies. It's very tasty too. In Colombia South, close to the Amazon too.
But not as much as Mexico, right?
No, I haven't been there.
True, like we cannot generalize, but still, like Colombian food, at least that we know, is mostly non-spicy. But it doesn't mean that they don't use any flavoring. In India, we use spices and chilies. In Colombia, you use a lot of herbs.
Yeah.
A lot of herbs. I've never heard of so many herbs until I came here.
Really?
That's like, you see, there are so many distinct differences in both cuisines, and that was very hard for you to get adapted to. But I think the biggest plus for you was that you were able to handle spicy food.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think if not for that, because we still have like friends who are from different countries and in India living for 1, 2, 3 years, but they still cannot handle spicy food or just any typical Indian food, but you were able to handle many.
Yeah,
so
I like most of them.
Exactly.
I think the fact that we had Indian food every day got me into a very fast breakdown and recovery. I wasn't used to any spicy food. I got quickly adapted. I also had a period. I've mentioned it before, I had a hard time. In general, it wasn't just because of the food, it was because of independence of the weather. The weather hit me so hard. So many things got together that for around more than 3 months, I was having a very hard time with food. I didn't want to eat. I lost a lot of weight because I wasn't...
Maybe like you were homesick, but for Colombian food.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was too much and
I
too
think
less time.
Oversaturated.
We are like trying too many things too quickly.
Like all the flavors were very strong. And not just because of chili, it's because of the combinations. For me, in my brain, it was never believable to have
so many things in one
many things in one plate.
Literally, the name of our channel is Masala of Cultures. So it's a masala, a mix of different spices that we use in almost every food. It's very hard to say that there's one specific food that we just use one single spice. No, there's always going to be a mix of different things. Like if you're going to put onions, it's probably going to have garlic, it's going to have ginger, it's going to have other spices. For example,
here, we also use a lot of garlic, tomato, onion. That's the base, right? That's the base for the food with cumin. Cumin, tomato, onion, garlic, base. And then herbs. But here it's like cinnamon, cloves. What's the name of the other one?
The garam masala, like it's a mix of so many spices. So it could definitely be overwhelming for anyone who's not Indian. So obviously like that period of hardship the smells are also very strong. Like I remember when we were in the US, and whenever I was cooking, the whole house would be full of the food smell. And of course, for me as an Indian, I've been used to it, so it's like incredible for me. I'm like, oh wow, I can smell it all over the house. But for someone who's not used to it, it could be extremely strong. And so talking about all these foods, and Indian food, Colombian food, there's one thing that I wanted to note, because us Indians, we think that our food is the best, like our culture is the best, and there's nothing wrong thinking that way, but we shouldn't let that hold us back from trying new things. Because I've seen so many of my friends in the US or in other countries, or some of my family that's traveled to other countries, whenever they go anywhere outside of India, they're very hesitant of trying new flavors, new dishes, new cuisine, and they are always gravitated towards Indian people or Indian food. And I feel that it's very limiting, and we should like open our mind and open ourselves to trying new things, because there are incredible stuff all over the world, whether it's food, culture, traditions. So I think that's one area where we Indians can develop, and I think many of you can agree to that as well. Probably I wouldn't have had all of these thoughts if I didn't have the opportunity to get out of the country, to meet you, and to be here in Colombia, living here, like eating the food. And of course I cannot eat much because I'm a vegetarian, so meat focused cuisine here, but still the different flavors, the culture, the traditions, it's just so beautiful. And when you mix all of it together, which is what we're trying to do with our lives now, because Colombian, we cannot go 100% Colombian. Indian, we cannot go 100% Indian, because one of us will feel left back. So yeah, we're trying to integrate both of our cultures, festivals, especially food, because food is integral for most people.
I wanted to say that before. I think not just for the whole world, specifically for Indians, food takes a very important role in the life of people. It's like the whole life gravitates at some point towards food. Festivals are towards food. Like you have your festival for Tamil New Year because he's Tamil. Pues everything will be about the food, right? Pongal is about the food. I don't know. I find that very interesting, because for me, yes, food is important, but if I go to a party, I want to have good music, good food, dancing, conversations, laughing, everything together, right? But for people, if you go to a marriage, the first thing they ask, how's the food? It's the main thing for many people in India.
100%.
And I know stories of people in situations like us that are like Latinas married to Indian men living in India, and that's very hard for them because they cook something Colombian or Peruvian or Mexican, whatever the country is, and the family doesn't want to try it, and that hurts, because we have to understand that food is an integral part of our cultures. Food, in the way we grew up, we see it as family, we see it as security, we see it as a nourishing aspect of our lives. So, example, many Indians trying Colombian food will say, oh, this is so bland. But for example, for me, it's not bland. I need to know what the beans are tasting like. I cannot have masala flavored every single day because it burns me out, right?
Of course.
And I love Indian food. And I have to learn as how do you call that?
As a couple, as an intercultural couple.
As an intercultural couple, I have to understand how important sambar is for you. Sambar is essential for you, right? Dosa is important for you. And I have to respect that, just as he knows that arepa is essential for my life. I need my arepa with egg every single day. It's very tasty, right?
Yes.
And it is essential for couples who are in similar situations like ours to respect this aspect of our lives. Food is extremely important. Food is integral in the development of a family.
It's going to be a great masala, a combination of two cultures, and like we're already starting to do it. For example, now we're in Colombia, but we also have all the powders from India, the chili powder, the turmeric powder, the sambar powder, and so many other
Garam
things.
masala.
Garam masala, asafoetida. So it's just that you take something from your country and try to take it with you wherever in the world you are, especially in our case as an intercultural couple. We need to integrate both of our cultures, food, traditions, and make it into a third culture.
Now we understand it, but we have to go through the hardship to see it. And I really hope that if you are watching this and you go through something similar, you don't have to go through it because it's painful and it gives a lot of trouble for the couple. Thankfully, we overcame that, and now we can definitely mix things from our food that are perfectly fine. We can have delicious beans soup, traditional Colombian bean soup, my favorite one, and have it with some paneer, palak paneer. And many people will say, how dare you making that combination? But it works. It definitely works because they're not opposing foods.
Absolutely. And generally, you see people around you in Colombia, they're married to other Colombians, right? When I look at my family or my friends, Indians are married to mostly other Indians. So we don't have many examples. So we have to create the examples. So don't feel limited by what others are doing or what others are saying, because you are living a very unique situation. So you have to build your own life on your own terms as a couple.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Absolutely. So that's
All?
food. That's all. Good video.
Good video.
Amazing.
Let's go get food.
Yes, very hungry after talking about so many food items. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. We are definitely going to answer every single one. And of course, lately there's been more. So maybe we take a few days to answer them, but we will get to it. But don't forget to visit our website, masalaofcultures.com, where we have guides, blogs, and a lot of articles on intercultural relationships, long distance, so many things, culture,
Books.
and as well as Instagram at Masala of Cultures. We post short videos, carousels, and a lot of our travel stories as well.
Yeah, day-to-day things in our stories.
Yeah. So see you in the next video. Nandri.
Nandri, Vanakkam.